Just pray. Understanding really that there is no other way to please the higher. Keep commandments and Yashaya on the brain and don't tire. Get on your knees humbly and say please. And in this manner you should pray. This is what you say.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and shalom, my brothers and sisters. This is Lashawan coming to you from the beautiful country, holy land of Jordan and the GOCC Jordan. I want to bring to your attention some things that have been laid in my heart to discuss with you that we will be forthcoming in the future on some of the lessons that the Most High have given me. Some of the lessons that we really need. I've noticed some things that have been brought to my attention that we need to discuss. We have a lot of our people who come out of Babylon who have a lot of issues and problems, and they have not dealt with those issues and problems before they come out into the wilderness. And I think that we need discussions on certain topics such as cleansing and healing, dealing with our spiritual gifts. We've got so much pain and so much other things that we're dealing with. That we got so much extra weight and baggage that we need to drop these loads, and they're really hindering us from a spiritual standpoint. We're going to be preparing the people for being in the wilderness, and we wanted to do this series because the Most High He's not going to allow them to bring all these different problems like they have in Babylon into His holy land. This is a whole different environment, a whole different situation, and a lot of people may come out of Babylon. They may not even make it into the wilderness. The whole purpose, obviously, of the whole ordeal is to make it into the promised land. And with that being said, then we know whatever issues and problems that we have in America, that we need to drop those issues, and we need to completely focus on these spiritual things and not just natural stuff. As elders, we should be attending to the people's needs, and I see a great need, because our people have been in slavery, and we're still in slavery, believe it or not. And so I know for a fact that we need to attend to them, and we need they need a lot of cleansing and purging. Sisters have issues with brothers. Brothers are not being men and stepping up to the plate and handling their responsibilities. And remember, Christ is the head of the church, and the brother is next in line, and then the sisters. So brothers, you all are going to have to step up and be men. Not men with your mouth, but men from a spiritual standpoint and from a natural standpoint. You're going to have to cover these sisters, and husbands got to cover their wives. And women, y'all have had a lot of issues also, these sisters, with men and how they've been treated in Babylon. And they got a lot of emotional attachments and bad spirits, and they're going to have to line up with the word and get behind that man and not try to be in front of that man. So we've got a lot of issues that we're having to deal with and going to deal with, and we're going to be doing a series of upcoming talks and discussions and videos that will address these problems. The elders must be hearing from the Most High, and we've got elders that are talking in some of these other areas, other camps, but they're not hearing from the Most High. They're focusing on things like demonic spirits and evil spirits and witchcraft. Why are we focusing on things like that? I mean, that's the enemy. We don't need to focus on the enemy. We need to speak those things which are pure, those things which are edifying the Most High, those things which are going to lift us up spiritually, those things which are going to strengthen us spiritually so we can fight spiritually. This is a spiritual warfare here. You know, we're not worried about what the other side is doing. We need to focus on our gifts and let our gift be manifested. And by us claiming our gifts and let our gifts be manifested when we speak the power of the tongue. James talks about that, the tongue, that we speak life and death through our gifts. When we line up with the word, do you realize the power that you have? Go back to the second chapter of Acts when it said, the first chapter of Acts, ye shall receive power after the Holy Ghost has come upon you. And Yashaya even told the disciples, these works that I've done, that you will be able to do greater gifts. So we want to focus on our temple, making sure that we receive those things which are good, those things which are righteous, those things which are pure, those things which are holy. You see, you don't want to listen to a bunch of garbage, a bunch of negative stuff, a bunch of stuff talking about what the other side is doing, practicing witchcraft, practicing evil, what the Illuminati is doing. That's not necessary. We know they're evil. We see that manifested in the earth and all the things that go on every day when you look at the news. Okay, as I was saying, we was talking about cleansing our spirit. We should continue to do these. This is what the saints need to do. We should be coming as a newborn baby. A newborn baby is innocent. It knows nothing about sin, nothing about evil, nothing about any of this stuff. This is the way we should be. You know, the baby comes into the world with no Brothers and sisters, once again, we're talking about fasting and prayer. Fasting and prayer. What is fasting? Fasting means laying aside or refraining from eating food. Normal fast takes total abstinence of food. Let's go to St. Luke, the 4th chapter, verse number 2. St. Luke 4 and 2. St. Luke chapter 4, verse number 2. St. Luke chapter 4, verse number 2 reads as this. Being 40 days tempted of the enemy or the devil, and in those days he did eat nothing, and when they were ended, he afterwards hungered. So Yashaya here is giving us an example of fasting, total abstinence of food. He did not have water nor food for 40 days. And here he's saying that he ate nothing. And after he had fasted, he hungered. And not only that, during that 40-day period of time, the enemy came unto him to tempt him. He tried to get him to sin. There is no sin in temptation, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. But we have to realize that sin come about when we yield to temptation. But here, Yashaya has given us a clear example of a total fast and how to resist the enemy and how to fight him, because it is definitely necessary. When we fast, we are strengthening the inner person or soul, and we are weakening the body. You see, there is a correlation between greedy and gluttonous eating and the Nephilim, or the spirits of the fallen angels. They tend to be hungry, they never get full, they stay in people, and when you fast, that weakens them and makes them flee out of your temple. Notice that your body is a holy temple, and it was designed for the Holy Spirit or the rock. It was not designed for these creatures that's a cross or a mixture of men and angel offspring. These were not created in heaven, they were created on the earth. And so they don't tolerate fasting or doing without food very well. Now, let's go to 1 Corinthians, let's go to Matthew chapter 17, verse number Matthew 17, verse number 14. Matthew
17, verse 14. Matthew 17, verse 14 says this. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man, kneeling down to him, and saying, Yashaya, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic, and so vexed, for oftentimes he falleth into the fire, and often into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Yashaya answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. And Yashaya rebuked the enemy, or the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Now, we see that here it is, a young man had a child, he had a lunatic, and he had a history of lunatic, and he was so filled with evil spirits. So when you see people acting crazy and stuff, realize that this is of the enemy, of the devil, and evil spirit. This is not a sickness or disease that men try to portray it to be, but this is a spiritual illness. And here it's clearly showing us in the Bible that this young man, illness was related to devils. He said, and he brought him to who? The disciples, so that they could what? Try to cure him, but they couldn't. Why? Because of this. They didn't have what they needed. They needed fasting and prayer. But Yashaya, with his awesome power, demonstrated faith, fasting, casting out the power of the Holy Spirit. He rebuked the enemy and it departed out of him. And the child was cured from that very hour. It don't take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks for the Most High to move and do what he needs to do. He does it very, very quickly. Verse number 19 said, Then came the disciples to Yashaya apart and said, Why could not we cast him out? You see that? Why we couldn't cast him out? One of the things we couldn't do in verse number 17, he said, faithless and perverse generation. Where is your faith? If you don't have enough faith, you can do anything. If you don't have enough faith, you cannot heal. You cannot rebuke the enemy. You can't speak things into existence as though they were. You must have faith. That's why he said, oh, faithless and perverse generation. He was very frustrated with them because they lacked faith. So we lack faith today. We lack it ourselves because we come to temptation and situations where we're going through a lot. We don't have faith in the Most High. No, and we don't. We just don't have it. And as he began to say, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder. In other words, pick up mountain and move and go over to the other place, and it shall be removed, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. That means there is nothing the devil can't throw at you that you can't get by. That mountain of problems, that mountain of worries, that mountain of financial burden, that mountains of alcohol, drugs, being tortured by the evil spirit, all of this stuff can be cast down when you have fasting and you have prayer, and you most certainly need faith with that as well. That's why, because these brothers were not fasting, and they might have been praying, but they wasn't praying a prayer of faith, you see. But once they did, Yashaya told them what they needed to do in order to have victory over the enemy. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter number 7, verse number 5. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse number 5. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse number 5. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse number 5 reads as thus. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that the enemy, Satan, tempt you not for your incontinency. What he said here is he's giving instructions in marriage. brothers who may be having problems in your marriage, this is an example of what you need to do. He said, for you not to defraud yourself, except it be with consent. In other words, sisters, y'all can't be using sex and not being with your husband as an excuse to try to get extra things from him, or money from him, or gifts from him, like some of you, because then you're defrauding your husband and you're defrauding him of your wifely duties. Likewise, husband, when your wife want to be with you, to be intimate, etc., you shouldn't defraud your wife because she didn't do certain things that you wanted her to do. You see? He said, except you do this with the consent of time, you give yourself, you can do this when you abstain for fasting and prayer. That's what you need to do at that time. With that being said, but you have to also come together again that the enemy tempts you not in tendencies. In other words, because you're going to do this, you all need to agree upon this, and you don't let the enemy come to try to get you in trouble with another person. That you agree that you need to abstain from being with your husband, being abstain from your wife, and do this. And when you do this, then you'll be okay. Because the enemy can come and try to tempt you because you're in contingency. So we want to let you know, even in your husband, even in your marriage, fasting is important. These are scriptures that are profound scriptures that show the importance of fasting and praying in our marriages. Matthew chapter 6, verse number 16. Matthew 6 and 16. Matthew 6 and 16 reads as this. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites, of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast. Don't be like these people who showing everybody that they fasting. Their faces are somber and solemn and, oh, I'm fasting. Everybody looks at your face and tell you you're hungry, you're starving. That's not the way you're supposed to fast as a child of the Most High. Okay? Okay? So that every man and everybody know what you're doing. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. If you fast like this and everybody knows you fasting, you're going to get your reward. It ain't going to come from heaven. It's going to come from men. So whatever you get, whether that's a stare, a look, a negative comment, etc., that's all you're going to get. You ain't getting no more than that. But here, verse 17, but thou art now fasted, anoint thy head, put oil on your head, wash your face up, look like you're happy, look like you're excited, look like you're motivated. Don't even sit around there like, well, I'm fasting today, I'm hungry. You know, and everybody looking at you like something wrong with you. No, the Most High said do it secretly. Don't, and look like you are enjoying fasting. Okay? That verse 18, that thou appearest not unto men to fast, but unto the Father. Why? Because this is between your spirit and the Most High in heaven. Through the walk, this is what this is supposed to be. But unto the Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. You see that? So that fasting between you and the Most High, it ain't supposed to be for everybody to know what you're doing. You don't have to broadcast it. You don't have to tell everybody what you're doing. But it's between you and the Most High. All men should have, you should be able to fast without people looking at you and knowing you're fasting. Too many people do that. They want everybody like, look at me, I'm doing out a meal. What we do? You should be able to do out a lot of meals. Because a lot of you need to be doing out a lot of meals because you're overweight, eating too much, and you got spirits in you don't need. And you got the wrong spirits in you. That's why you're raising Cain and fussing and can't even go 24 hours without a meal. That's ridiculous. That we have allowed ourselves to get so caught up in sin and so caught up in this earth and this world until we can't even go one 24-hour period without a meal. That's pitiful. That's pitiful. Matthew chapter number 9, verse number 14. Matthew 9, verse 14. Chapter 9, verse 14 reads this. Then came to him the disciple John saying, why do we and the Pharisees fast often, but thy disciples fast not? So here we have an example in the word showing where the Pharisees came to Christ and they wanted them to do the same thing they've been doing. But see, these brothers wasn't doing it because they were sincere. They be doing it with the sad face that you just got to reading about in Matthew chapter number 6, where they were sitting around with these somber, long faces and let everybody know they fasted. They didn't have their face clean and anointed with oil. They weren't fasting going into the closet and having a secret communication between them and the Most High. They wanted everybody to know. You see, but here they come to the Most Yashaya, asking, why your disciples don't fast like us? Oh, we fast, you want everybody to know we do this, but your disciples, they ain't fasting. Yashaya said unto them, can the children of the bride chamber mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken from them, and then shall they fast. So during this time, Yashaya knew that they had not received the Holy Spirit. Okay, they were getting instruction, and they was with the Spirit that was made in the flesh, which was Him. And so he said that they can't mourn, they can't do certain things until the bridegroom is gone on home, back to the Father. But the bridegroom is here now. They don't have to fast like you. They don't have to do what you're doing. I'm giving them instructions what they need to do now. Isn't that amazing how people want you to follow them and do what they're telling you rather than do what the Most High and the Most High tell us to do, and what the Word of the Most High tell us to do? Isn't that it? These brothers go around in the marketplace where everybody know they're fasting with the summer long faces and stuff, and the disciples wasn't fasting, so they want to question them like they're setting the rules and the precedent, and they know what's best for the children of the Most High. They don't. They like to do that because they want to be seen of men. And that's all they were trying to do here. Make a big deal out of them fasting, and the disciples wasn't fasting. But Yashaya told them, as long as that bridegroom is with the children of the bride chamber, they don't have to fast. But the day is going to come when they will. When the bridegroom is going on, when he's going on to heaven, and he did, when he was sacrificed, then they shall fast. But in the meantime, they got me, brother. I'm the Word wrapped up in the flesh. That's what he's saying. All right? That's what he's saying. I'm here, I'm wrapped up in the flesh. They don't need all that. Now, let's go to the book of St. Luke, the 5th chapter, verse number 33. St. Luke, the 5th chapter, verse number 33. St. Luke 5:33. Chapter number 5, verse number 33. And it reads, and they said unto him, why do the disciples of John fast often and make prayers likewise the disciples of the Pharisees? Here doing the same thing. But dine, eat, and drink. This is a slightly different version of what we just went over. And he said unto them, can ye make the children of the bride chamber fast? So these two verses are the same. Luke and St. Luke and Matthew, the 9th chapter, are basically just saying the same thing. And he's saying the same thing. So here we see another example, but it's different from a different disciple, about the bridegroom being with them. They're not able to mourn until the bridegroom is taken on home. Then they'll start fasting at that time. So here we have another example of the same scripture, but Luke is giving us a slightly different version of it. Let's go to Acts, the 13th chapter, verse number 1. Acts 13, verse number 1. Well, let's talk about this. They're absolute fast, they're partial fasting. There's also fasting that deal with, before we go to Acts, there's also fasting that should be done to know. And why do we fast? We fast because we want to know the Most High in a deeper experience with Him. Fasting gets us closer. It gets us more spiritual and less physical, less fleshly. It gets us where we really, really seek after the Most High. Let's go to Isaiah 58 and 1. Isaiah 58 chapter verse number 1. Isaiah 58 and 1. Isaiah 58 verse number 1. 58 and 1 reads, cry aloud, spare not, lift up the voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression. In the house of Jacob their sin. You see that? Show the house of Jacob their sin. Why? Because it's making you to get closer to the Most High. Cry loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. So the saints, what they got to do? They got to show the people their break, their sin, their transgression. Oh, you can't hide this stuff. You can't get up under the cover and try to act like it ain't happening and ignore it, because it's not going to go away. You got to cry loud and let them know that. Let's go to Zechariah, the 7th chapter, verse number 5. Zechariah 7, verse number 5. Zechariah 7, verse number 5. Zechariah 7, verse number 5, Jesus listen. Speak unto all the people of the land and to the priests, saying, when ye fasted and mourned in the 5th and 7th month, even those 70 years, did ye at all fast unto me, even to me? And when ye did eat, and when ye did drink, did not ye eat for yourselves and drink for yourselves? Should ye not hear the words which the Most High hath cried by the former prophets, when Jerusalem was inhabited and in prosperity, and the cities thereof round about her, when men inhabited the south and the plain? Here he is, the Most High, giving them an example of talking to Zechariah, letting them know that in the 5th and the 7th month, did the priests, were y'all fasting for me? Were y'all fasting, sitting aside and doing what you're supposed to do? The 70 years you was in Babylon, you didn't do that, did you? And when you did eat, and when you did drink, did not you eat for yourself and drink for yourself? You weren't worried about trying to get strength. You was eating food when you should have been setting food aside and setting that drink aside and trying to get stronger and let the word dwell in you more so you can get closer to the Father and that you could be rewarded and taken care of and protected in everything. But you was eating and doing any and everything that you wanted to do. And this is why he was saying to him in the book of Zechariah here about how this fasting, how it gets you closer to the Most High. Fasting can also be done in a time of confession. Let's go to Psalm 69, chapter verse number 10. Psalm 69 and 10. And 10 in the book of Psalms. And it reads this. Psalm 69 and 10. When I wept and chastened my soul with fasting, that was to my reproach. So when I wept, this is how, and wept, This is when I'm having a time of confession. Something I did wrong. I knew I was wrong. I was weeping and I was fasting. Why? Because I'm trying to cleanse myself and get rid of something out of my body, out of my soul that I know is not right. And so there's a time where you have to strengthen your inner man, you see, and you have to break down and chasten your soul. Chasten means to cleanse it, to purge it, when the Most High sometimes have to spank you. Okay, you have to break it on down. Okay? This was to my doings. I had to do that. I had to do that to get myself better. See, by doing that, all of my other desires are wiped away. Why? Because I'm trying to promote the Most High glory and the Most High manifestation in His temple called my body. When I'm doing this, I wept, I cried. You have to break down sometimes. Fasting helps you to do that. Why? Because it can get you, it can be for a time to help your soul become strengthened. Thank the Most High. Also, it gets us closer to the Most High. Let's go to Joel 2 and 2. Fasting. Why? We want to get close to the Most High. He don't get you further away from Him, He gets you closer to Him. Joel 2 and 2. Joel 2 and 2. number 2. And that is this. It says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. That's what it says there. I'm sorry, Joel, it should have been Joel 2:12. I'm reading the wrong verse. Therefore also now saith the Most High, turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning. Once again, turn ye even unto me with all your heart, with fasting, and weeping, and with mourning. We were talking about Joel fasting, Joel chapter 12, 2, chapter verse number 12. That's Joel 2:12. Therefore also now faith, saith the Most High, turn ye unto me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning. Here he is, Joel, dealing with Israel, and telling them what the Most High said. They need to do this by fasting, reading, and fasting and prayer, and getting closer to the Most High, and weeping, and really pouring your soul out to Him. That's what we need to do. Weeping and mourning with all your heart, not some of your heart. That's what wrong people. They want to have serve the Most High. They want to have do it. Most High don't want you to have do it. He wants you to give it all away. Give it everything you got. Everything you got. You see, everything you got. Now, let's go to Daniel chapter number 10, verse number 3. And this is another example of fasting where you have a partial fast. Daniel chapter number 10, verse number 3. Daniel 10, verse number 3. Daniel 10. This part of the lesson on Daniel 10:3, the partial fast, it took focus upon the restriction of the diet rather than the complete abstinence. You see, you may restrict it. Maybe you're on a partial fast, like you want to fast to nothing but juice, or fast to nothing but water, and not a complete fast. So it's certain aspects of it that you're concentrating on that you don't do. Daniel 10:3, and it reads this. I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth, neither did I anoint myself at all, till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. So Daniel went 3 weeks here without eating any bread, drinking any wine, 3 weeks. So he's giving you an example of a partial fast, or a limited fast, or a fast that deals with liquids. Certain liquids like water, maybe juice, but definitely no alcohol, and definitely no solid food as far as bread and things like that are concerned, because this is a partial fast. So there is such thing as a partial fast or a restricted fast. Let's go to Exodus 34, verse number 28. Exodus 34, verse 28. We're still concentrating on partial fast. Exodus 34, verse number 28. And it reads this, Exodus 34 and 28. And he was there with the Most High 40 days and 40 nights. We're talking about Moses now. That's what we're talking about, Moses. 40 days and 40 nights in the mountain at Sinai with the Most High. Right now he did neither eat bread nor drink water. So Moses didn't have a partial. He had a real fast. He didn't eat no bread, no water. And he wrote upon the table the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. So he was fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. Actually, he's having a complete fast here instead of a partial. So I stand corrected on that, but there is, I talked about a complete fast, and on this is an example of a complete fast, not a partial fast. But nevertheless, we want you to know that there is a certain period of time. He went 40 days and 40 nights, okay? And you saw earlier in the book of Daniel, he didn't go as long as Moses, and he didn't eat the bread and the wine, but did not say he didn't drink anything. But here it's clear that Moses didn't do it and didn't eat anything. And he was up in the mountain with the Most High, getting the tables of the 10 Commandments, which were the words of the covenant, written and given unto him. That's what he did on this particular day. Let's go to 1 Samuel, chapter 7, verse number 6. 1 Samuel, chapter 7, verse number 6. Still trying to deal with this partial fast, rather than trying to give an example of partial fast. 1 Samuel, chapter 7, verse number 6. And it reads, "And they gathered together to Mizpah, and drew water, and poured it out before the Most High, and fasted on that day, and said there, We have sinned against the Most High. And Samuel judged the children of Israel in Mizpah." So here they're having war with the Philistines, and here is an example of a partial fast, where they drew out water and poured it before the Most High, and fasted when they didn't have any food. And they did it because they was trying to what? Reconnect to the Most High, because they had sinned. And they want the Most High to be with them. And Samuel judged the children of Israel at Mizpah. So they were getting ready to fight against them. And Israel needed strength. So they fasted. And not only that, if you read further down, verse number 10, "And Samuel took a sucking lamb and offered it for a burnt offering, holding unto the Most High. And Samuel cried unto the Most High for Israel, and the Most High heard him." Verse 10, "And as Samuel was offering up the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near the battle against Israel. But the Most High thundered with a great thunder on that day upon the Philistines, and discomfited them, and they were smitten before Israel." Once again, fasting. They were afraid, but they began to fast. They had a prophet among them, Samuel, and when the Most High gave them strength with the burnt offering, he said they went near, the Most High was with them, and as the Philistine came to battle against Israel, the Most High thundered with the great thunder upon the Philistine and discomfited them, and they were defeated. This is the importance of fasting. Victory after victory after victory through fasting. 1 Kings chapter 19, verse number 8. 1 Kings chapter 19, verse number 8. We're still talking about fasting and the importance of fasting and why we should fast and the different types of fast and what is the purpose of it. You can clearly see there's a great need and a great benefit for the saints of the Most High to fast. And definitely, and also to pray. But we're dealing with the fasting aspect of this message of fasting and prayer. 1 Kings chapter number 19, verse number 8, and it reads this: "And he rose and did eat and drink, and went in the strength of that meat 40 days and 40 nights unto Horeb, mount of the Most High. And he came thither unto a cave large there." Excuse me just a moment, please. Day of Atonement, or the day of fasting, one of our major holy days, and this shows you the importance of fasting. If it wasn't the day the Most High wouldn't have had us to fast on one of the holy days. This is the one that we do fast on, and it showed how we were afflicted in Egypt and suffered. We need to be able to go that day on the Day of Atonement, which is the 7th month, the 10th day of the 7th month. And we need to do this, and we were instructed do fasting in that particular time frame. That's Leviticus 23, verse 32. It reads, "And it shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls, and in the 9th day of the month, at even from even unto even, ye shall celebrate your Sabbath." You see that? Go from one day to the next. 24 hours fasting and afflicting your soul. That means doing our food, etc. What you need to do on the Day of Atonement. The importance of fasting, because you were in Egypt and suffered and you went through a lot. And the Most High don't want us to forget the importance of fasting. So let's go to Isaiah. No, that's good. That's good, because I could have went to Isaiah. I tell you, we can go at Isaiah 58. But Isaiah 58, verse number 2. Isaiah 58, verse number 2. 58:2 reads this. "Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness." He's talking to Israel here. The prophet is talking to Israel for the Most High. "And forsook not the ordinances of their power. And they actually the ordinance of justice, they take delight in approaching to the Most High. Wherefore," verse number 3, "wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not. Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge." See that? This is the Day of Atonement. This is what they were supposed to do. We done the same, but you have taken no knowledge. "Behold, in the day of your fast, ye find pleasure, and exact all your labor." See, when you're fasting like this and you're on the Day of Atonement, you ain't supposed to be doing no work, but you finding labor. You working on the day you weren't supposed to be. This is what the Most High is saying in the book of Isaiah. "Behold, you fast for strife." You ain't fasting because you're doing it for the will of the Most High. You're doing it to cause a problem. "Strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high." I'm not going to listen to you, Israel, because you fasting and doing stuff for the wrong reason. Verse number 5. "Is it such a fast that I have chosen? A day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Would thou call this a fast, an acceptable day to the Most High?" No, brother, you ain't doing it right. So you might as well not do it when it comes to fasting if you ain't doing it right. This is a good example of what the Most High is telling them, how to humble themselves and the right way to fast. Verse number 6. "Is this not this the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burden, and to let the oppressed go free, and that ye may break every yoke." Verse 7. "It is not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house, when thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thine own flesh." Verse 8. "They shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of the Most High shall be thy reward." Verse 9. "Then shalt thou call, and the Most High shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, Here I am." You see, he wants the Most High to be on your side. He need to do it right. When you cry, he gonna say, Here am I. I'm sorry, no, here I am. So he said, "Here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and speaking vanity." Verse 10. "If thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy knowledge shall be as a noonday." In other words, you're going to be bright as light, dark's going to be gone, evil going to be gone. You're going to be so powerful with the spirit of the walk until you cannot be hid. You'll be bright as the sun when you do it right. Verse number 11. "And the Most High shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought." Even when other people around you and ain't no word, you still going to be satisfied. When everybody else is starving, you still going to be satisfied. "And make fat thy bones." You see that? "And thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water whose water fail not." You see that? That's that living water springing up in you when you fast and you do what you're supposed to do. as the Most High has given us instruction. Verse number 12. And they that shall build, these shall build the old ways places. Thou shalt raise up the foundation of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breaches. Brothers and sisters, we got some breaches that need to be repaired, and we need to be the repairers of the breaches. That's what he's saying here. The restorer of path to dwell in. We are all out of the path of the Most High. All out of place, doing everything we want to do, and the Most High is not happy with that. He's not happy with that. We got breaches in the gap. We need somebody to stand in the gap and fasting and praying is the way to do it. There's no question about it. We need to pray and fast for things that is the Most High will, or honoring the Most High. Let's go to James chapter number 1, verse number 5. That's James 1, verse number 5. We need to do that. James 1 and 5. James chapter 1, verse number 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. So whatever you need to ask the Most High. Why? Because you're trying to get close to the Most High. You're trying to get close to the Most High. You see, usually when you fast, you have to realize that for the first few days, if you're going to go to a 3-day fast, that your body's going to go through some changes. You see, and after a period of time, after a few days, the body will usually, that hunger and stuff will usually leave your body for maybe the first day or 2 days, and everything. And when all this is all over, you're going to get rid of a lot of impurities and things, naturally speaking, when you're fasting in your body. See, and also when you take water, if you're going to water fast, like a 30-day fast, that's good too because it allows you to break down all those impurities and stuff and cleanse out your body. You see. So we got fasting, we got examples of short fasting, we got examples of partial fasting, we got examples of long 40-day fasting. We got so many things of fasting. Let's go to Acts the 9th chapter, verse number 9. Go to another form of fasting. This type of fasting is called absolute fasting, Acts 9 and 9. Acts 9 and 9. Absolute fasting. Acts 9 chapter, verse 9. And it reads this. And he was 3 days without sight, and neither did eat nor drink. So here we have Saul. Saul, the great prophet Saul, name was called. He was blinded, and he had been arrested. And he saw no man, for his eyes were shut. And for 3 days he was led by hand and brought him into the city of Damascus. And here he was without sight, neither did he eat anything for 3 days. You see it? 3 days, 3 nights, Saul did not eat anything. It was an absolute fast. No water, no food for 3 days. Verse number 10 talks about Ananias and how Paul came down. How Ananias got a vision from the Most High. And how eventually Paul received his sight. How he had to go down the straight street, etc., etc. And this man of the Most High went down and prayed for him, and the scale dropped from his eye. But the point of the matter is, he went 3 days and 3 nights without anything. Solemn fast. That's what Paul did. And he had result. So ladies, brothers and sisters, I want Israel to know the fasting is important. Don't get caught up like the heathens. You can't go without one meal. That's why our people are all over. That's why you got GMO stuff, these genetically modified foods. You don't even know you're putting poison in your body. You need to give your body a chance to cleanse itself out. And and let the soul be revived. Instead of being overweight, out of shape, overweight spiritually, you're dead, underweight spiritually, and overweight physically. That's a shame before the Most High. That's what a lot of our people are. And it's pathetic. We can't even run a half a block. We can't do anything at all because we're too overweight and we never fast. Period. That don't make any sense at all. Here we are again, brothers and sisters, the book of Ezra, chapter number 10, verse number 6. Ezra 10, verse 6. This is giving us an example of an absolute fast. Ezra 10, 6. When Ezra rose up from before the house of the Most High and went into the chamber of Johanan, the son of Elisha, and when he came thither, he did eat no bread, nor drink water, for he mourned because of the transgression of them that had been carried away. He cried because Israel was carried into captivity. He neither ate any bread, neither drank any water, because he fasted for his people. And once again, brothers and sisters, he had a broken spirit and he wept. He wept. You see that? He was troubled, he mourned, he wept because of the sins of them that had been carried away. Israel. Let's go to Esther, chapter 4, verse number 16. Esther, chapter 4, verse number 16. Esther 4, verse 16. 4:16 reads as thus. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, nor days, night or day. I also and my maidens. This is Esther's decision for her people, telling them to go and gather all the Hebrews in Shushan and tell them to fast. You see that? Neither eat or drink anything for 3 days. This is a solemn or an absolute fast. Why? Because there was something that needed to be done. Because a decree had went out that all the Jews should be put to death in the land of Babylon. And here it is, Esther, the niece of Mordecai. And we know the story. How she told all the brothers and sisters to fast. Our nation was going to be wiped out. We were no longer going to be a people, none. But because of this courageous, blessed sister of the Most High, daughter of the Most High, I'm sorry, my sister, daughter of the Most High, Esther, she gave us instruction and led by the Spirit of the Most High of what we needed to do. And our people did that. She said, fast for ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maiden will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish. Here she had made up her mind. She was going to make a great sacrifice for Israel. She wanted them to fast and pray for 3 days and 3 nights, and eat and drink anything for 3 days, 3 days. Her maid was going to fast and pray. She was going to go before the king without being summoned, and that's against the law, because you the king, and the king has sent for you. You don't just go into the king's chamber, go in there and want to talk to the king. But she said, if I perish, let me perish. But I'm going to do this for Israel. You have to be determined, like Queen Esther, to fast and do what you're supposed to do. Because there may come a time you may have to do the same thing she did. Not just to fast, but put your life on the line. But she did. And we are still here today because of Queen Esther. Thank the Most High for her. And thank the Most High for her fasting and praying and doing without food and water. You can do without food and water, sisters and brothers. You can strengthen that soul and let that flesh die because you need to. And a lot of us can do without food anyhow because we're overweight. I'm not being facetious, I'm just telling the truth. The importance of fasting. He's an example of absolute fast. He's fasting for 3 days without no food, without no water. And you just see miraculous miracles are being done when you fast. Mountains are being moved. Devils are being cast out. Souls are being set free. The importance of fasting and prayer. We got to continue to do this and strengthen ourselves because Israel is weak and Israel needs help. With that, at this time, I'm going to conclude this message, part of fasting and prayer message, and this will conclude it when it comes to the fasting part of the message of fasting and prayer. Once again, some of you also, I want to say before I stop, is that you know, like you're a young child, and if you offer a child to fast, if you're expecting mother, it'll be difficult for you to fast for 3 days, 3 nights. All those of you who claim who are not expecting mother, not a child, you say you love the Most High, you say you know Him, you have His Holy Spirit, then there should be no problem with you fasting. You may not go 3 days, but you can go at least 12 hours. You can do that and then make an appointment to do it at least once a week. At least like maybe from 12 at midnight until 12 the next day at lunch time. No water, no food. And pray and ask the Most High to strengthen you so that you can go longer. And then maybe go until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the same day, the next time. Maybe within a month's time. And then eventually you can go 24 hours without water and without food. And eventually, hopefully, everybody will be able to be strong enough spiritually and be able to go 3 days without food and without water. Because if you want the Most High to bless your spirit, and decrease your flesh. And that's how you do that. That's how you're able to keep these demons and stuff from getting into you. Because they don't like your soul when you starve it. They all want to eat. They're greedy. See? That's how you can tell the saints. Because the saints are going to have that spirit and they can fast. Now you got a lot of pretenders who pretend to be saints. But a lot of them can't fast for the dying. So I'm getting to question them. Oh, brother, let's have a fast day. We're going to go for 3 days. And on the first day, the brother can't even get through 6 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours. Brother, you ain't ready. You doing something you ain't have any business doing. Because if you can't go for 12 hours without food or water, without you being sick, pregnant, or a child, then you got some serious issues and things that need to be worked on. Yes, you got some serious issues that need to be worked on. And with that part of this message of fasting and prayer, I want to come to an end, and also I want to also say that prayer is a necessary part of fasting and prayer. And with that conclusion, we're going to conclude this portion of this lesson on fasting and prayer. And we'll pick up on part 2 of daily prayer. Thank you. Wow.
Give us today our daily bread, so we be fed and forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors. 'Cause it's better. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Let the church say amen. And I don't be uptight and try to keep the conversation light. Go somewhere on your own, be alone. Just like get on your knees. And if you have to beg, you got to please, just say please. How you know exactly what you need, so best believe it won't be long before he intercedes. So breathe, and there's no need to pump no trees. A higher beast, the aphrodisiac, a stimulant you need. When you fast and you pray, relieve your mind and your soul. The Holy Spirit fills the temple and it makes the body whole. Open up all the senses and it makes the body free. And the best part about it, that it makes the demons fly.